Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Ageless Women Living. I'm Robin, and this is Dana, and we are your coaches for today.
Our goal today is to bring you a nutrition alternative for those of you that are lactose intolerant or those of you that are on level 3 of our Ageless Women Jumpstart diet, because some of you just love yogurt. And not to mention, there are some incredible benefits of eating fermented foods and foods with probiotics.
Right, and if you have eliminated dairy, whether from sensitivity or for whatever reason, you're not going to be able to eat yogurt, which is such a good beneficial fermented product for your body. By the way, the fermented foods, and the reason we want to eat them is they help us to grow good, healthy bacteria in our gut, in our intestines, which help with digestion, absorption, elimination. It would be great if you could eat a little bit of fermented food every day. What better way to have maybe a little bit of yogurt with some fruit? But again, for those of you that are not able to eat dairy or have eliminated it for maybe a short period of time, we're going to show you how to make an alternative yogurt out of coconut milk.
In seconds,
minutes. It's really so easy. So we've got two different types of coconut milk. This is just your plain coconut milk. This is your coconut cream. I've made our current yogurt here with the coconut milk, and I just want to show you it's a little bit runnier than your typical yogurt.
So it works great as a sauce over fruit. If somebody does tolerate grains and likes a certain kind of a healthy maybe a granola or cereal or whatever, it would be excellent in that.
Exactly. So that's out of the coconut milk. You can also use it in smoothies too, that way really easily. But if you want a thicker type of yogurt, then you could use the coconut cream, which is going to be thicker. We're going to use that today. If you don't have coconut cream on hand and you want to use a can of coconut milk that you have, put it in the refrigerator, turn your jar upside down, let it sit for 4, 5, 6 hours, and then when you take it out, the cream will have separated from the liquid, and you can put the liquid in a smoothie or something, and then just use the cream out of the can of coconut milk.
Okay, well, I've already opened it with my fancy-dancy can opener, and look at the thickness of this. Let's see how smarty pants I am. Yep. Okay. Pretty darn thick. Pretty darn thick.
But it's probably not going to be as thick as regular dairy yogurt. Right. So why don't you just pour that in a jar? You want a glass jar with a sealed lid that you can put on it. It needs to be sterilized because remember, we are going to be creating some cultures, bacterial cultures, the good kind in this.
Can I tell you what that reminded me of? I used to be a labor and delivery nurse. After the babies are delivered, sometimes all the water from the bag of waters that was retained behind the baby comes out after the baby. Okay.
That's really gross, Dana. That is really gross, but okay, we'll go with it.
Okay. That's very natural and organic, having a baby.
And fork to
just being real. Give me the fork.
To stir. I think it'll be easier just to kind of mix that up. So you want to mix that up really well. And then all you need is, see this right here? You see that? It is a probiotic capsule. This one happens to be 15 strains. I think it's 35 billion different live cells. And
how do they find a good quality probiotic like that, Robin?
Well, a lot of the probiotics that are on the market are not stable in your body. So if they come off the shelf and they're not refrigerated, they're not from the refrigerator section, you need to search for a probiotic that says that it can maintain and withstand the acids in your belly and actually get into your belly without being destroyed. So make sure you read your labels. You want as many different strains, a minimum of 12 different strains of cultures, and in the billions. Mine is 35 billion. What's yours?
Well, this one is 50. And I was just bringing out my packaging. My supplement drawer just happens to be right here. This doesn't have to be refrigerated, but you'll see it's in the individual little sealed. So you really want to protect the integrity of the probiotics. Yes. We'll provide a couple links in our show notes of products that we feel are good quality.
So we're going to take this probiotic capsule and open it up and just add it to the coconut milk or the coconut cream. I use 2, and I'll tell you why. When I did it the first time and I added it and I started stirring it, so much was sticking to the fork. I know I was losing a lot. So, you know
Don't
what?
do it yet. I want to do a little taste. I want to tell you what robins taste like after having been fermented, and we're going to tell you how long that takes and how you do that. So that has a yogurt.
Sour.
That has that sourness from yogurt. Now, this coconut cream, of course, has not been fermented. And it does just taste like a cream. No real teeny bit of sweetness naturally, but it's a nice creaminess. So go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna. Oops. And why can I not open that? Of course. Oh, there we go. See, and you could spill it too. That's another reason you need a couple of them. So.
Because again, your purpose is to get the tartness of yogurt, and of course, most importantly, the benefit
the live cultures.
Right.
Okay, now stir that up.
Now tell me, Robin, why we could not just stir this up really well and immediately eat it as yogurt.
Well, it's not yogurt at this point. Those cultures, when you leave this out, we're going to tell you exactly how to do that in a minute. They're going to multiply. They're going to change the entire. It's not just adding the cultures. They become part. They actually become the
yeast
culture.
leavens the whole loaf.
That's exactly what it's like.
Yep. It totally permeates
she
it.
stirred that up really well, and now you want to seal this.
So we've used a mason jar with just like you would use for canning or whatever. No plastic. And now what?
Now is the interesting thing. Usually if you're going to make yogurt, you have to boil your milk. You have to put it in a yogurt maker. We are simply going to put this in the oven. Do not turn your oven on. Turn your oven light on and put it in your oven for 24 hours with the light on. And in 24 hours, take it out, stick it in your refrigerator for 5 or 6 hours, and you will have coconut milk yogurt. And this is actually how the big production companies that make regular yogurt do. They just keep it at about 110 degrees for 24 hours. They add a culture to it, and it becomes yogurt. So it's good beneficial bacteria that's going to be developing in there.
Now I'll tell you, I do like a little sweetness to my yogurt. So I will use monk fruit sugar, or I will use a teeny bit of stevia, trilithia, and maybe even some of my organic vanilla if I want a vanilla flavor.
But don't add that until after the yogurt is done and it's been in your refrigerator for 5 to 6 hours after you take it out of the oven.
And I think I would do mine each time I used it.
Yeah, you could put vanilla in.
Right.
I put mine. We have a plate of fruit here, but I took frozen berries, let them defrost. And you know when you let them defrost, they have all that juicy colored water. And then I just put the yogurt you're going to use less of this. You're not going to use a cup of this as far as yogurt because it is a higher fat content. You'll use maybe 1/3 of a cup, 1/4 of a cup. I put that over my berries. I put some monk fruit sweetener on it. It was delicious. And some coconut flakes in it.
My granddaughters are coming from North Carolina, and I'm going to sneak this healthy stuff into them. I'll get it naturally sweet, and they're going to get some good probiotic health. So we mentioned our Ageless Woman Jumpstart diet, and that if you wanted to have dairy, for example, if you were on the level 3, this would be a great alternative. If you don't know what the Ageless Woman Jumpstart diet is, click on the link that we provided in our show notes, and you will learn all about it. But here's the bottom line. It is a diet designed specifically with mature women in mind to help you get that breakthrough. I mean, so many older women are having more and more difficulty losing weight, and we have discovered many reasons why that's true and designed a diet that can help you not only jumpstart and get the weight off, but a plan to help you keep it off. We'll provide a couple links on our show notes. We'll provide a couple links. I can't talk today.
Did we say what we were going to do with this? No, I didn't say. So let me finish saying that, and then before I'll say,
put it in.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that going to be it?
Want to watch that?
No.